What's up? What's up? It's your boy Dwell, aka Mr. J, aquí en la casa, coming at you sideways with another episode of Las Different Voices. Hopefully, everybody's doing a good one. This episode, it's been a little minute. It's been a little journey this past month or so. So I have people lined up. But today we finally got it going back on. We're gonna start pushing again. But I want to dedicate this one to my friend Israel Pineda, who's in the hospital right now. He OD'd, and it's been 2 weeks. Pretty much, he's been unconscious. Still hasn't woken up. So I want to dedicate this to him and to his family. I hope he gets better soon. Israel's had actually two. He did 2 podcasts with me. Yeah. He was one of the first ones. He came right here twice. So hopefully he gets better, man. Yes. Hopefully he gets better.
I hope so too.
Today in la casa, I got Manuel Cortez. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Thank you.
Everything good with you?
Yes, everything's good.
How's the day treating you?
The day's awesome.
Yeah?
The day's awesome, yeah. I just got news that my car passed a smog check.
That's always a scary one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's always a scary one.
We're doing good.
It's like going to the doctor and getting tested for, pretty much.
No, I hear you.
Till you get the answer.
Right.
That you're cleared, huh?
That's it.
So a lot of you guys, whoever watches this, might know who he is, but I see Manuel skating down Bristol, a lot of the time. So if you've seen him, this is the guy that I don't know, maybe growing up used to see him, skateboarding down Bristol, and finally I got the opportunity to meet him, and here he is now, Thank you for coming, bro. Like I said, I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me here.
And like I said, right now, I even told they asked me recently, "What's up? Have you still been doing podcasts?" And I told them, "Yeah, I got a couple guys lined up. I just haven't been able to make it happen." And I told him, who I have? The guy that skateboards down Bristol with long hair. And he's like, "Oh, I say, guy, I've seen him since growing up, man. Do you get that a lot?"
I do. Sometimes I'm out with my daughter when she was younger, and we were all dressed, to go out, and we're at the movie theater, and she goes, "Papa, those guys are looking at you." And they walk up to me and goes, "Are you the guy that skateboards on Bristol?" And it brings a smile to their face. I said, "Yeah." I do that.
How does that make you feel, though? Like,
well, it makes me feel that I'm part of the community, and makes me feel that as I continue doing this, my responsibility of, just a respectful mannerism, is important that it keeps going out there, because that's what it's about, influencing positivity, getting up, doing something, and, doing something with your life, being active, staying healthy.
Yeah, no, and hold on, let me see. Can you talk again?
Yes. Staying healthy.
Yeah, no. I just double checking the sound quality. And if you can, speak a little louder,
Okay.
Just a little bit louder para que se...
Let me bring this closer.
Yeah. I just no, and that's cool, bro. Yeah, like I said, growing up, I used to see you. I'd just be driving around, and I used to see you like going fast. You've been doing that for a long time. I noticed you stopped for a little while.
Yes, I did. I did stop for a few years. One, because I was raising my daughter when I was younger. And another one because of the cancer I had to go through in chemo.
Oh, okay.
I stopped close to at least 4 years.
Oh, okay.
And so I can get better, heal.
Yeah, I know. I noticed you were, I mean, I didn't see you for a while. And then I think before we actually met, I re-saw you again down McFadden, and I was like, was that him? Because I was driving pretty fast too, and I was like, well, it was a while. So we'll talk about all that stuff, man. We'll talk about that. Yes. We'll talk about your journey también in regards to because it can also be motivational to other people that are going through that.
Yes, that's true.
It hits everybody different. I'm pretty sure.
It does. It's a real tragic thing to happen in families.
Yeah.
And some people don't make it through it. And, I feel really blessed and grateful that I was able to make it through this illness.
What kind of cancer was it?
Well, it's testicular.
Oh, okay. And
And
that's even for.
yes, and then from there it spread into the abdominal area
Oh man.
and in front of my chest, my lungs, and in front of my lungs as well.
Oh wow. So it became like lung cancer too.
Yes,
Oh,
pretty
man.
much. Yeah, the doctor said you got a 50-50 chance of making it, not making it.
Oh shoot.
And I told myself, as soon as if I was diagnosed with the cancer, I actually started feeling better, the concept of knowing than not knowing, because then I know, it's like, why is my body feeling this way?
Yeah.
And when we talked about it, the doctor, he said, well, the next thing to do is do chemo to shrink it down,
Yeah.
because there's no way they can do surgery at that time, because it was so spread out all over the place.
Wow.
So.
And this took like what, 8 years?
Yeah, I'm already going on 9 years remission.
What is remission like?
Meaning
you're
that
clear?
after you're done with the chemo, and then there's no sign of cancer.
Oh, okay.
So it's zero cancer now.
Oh, so you've been pretty much 9 years
Clear from cancer.
That's cool, man.
Yes.
Congratulations to that.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
And that's good, man.
And that's why I just dedicate, all that love that I do to teaching, art, and skateboarding.
Oh, that's
And
That's
just
nice.
and being good friends to friends,
yeah.
because
yeah.
that's what we need.
Well, shout out to Fred Stoop Down, because I didn't know you guys were friends, and shout out to Frankie because he came in, showed some love, spoke to us about his military career, and now you're here, Actually, through Fred Stoop Down, I've had a couple friends through him, so
Right.
so a couple of his people come by, and you're another one, man. So
Yes.
this is cool. I see your Instagram. Like I said, I met you due to unfortunate. I mean,
Right.
some people could look at it as a beautiful thing, but
Well,
through death,
that's
through
true.
close family
That's
death.
true.
But
Well, things happened, just like when I was going through the cancer thing, I told people it was actually a really interesting experience, because a large group of people got to meet that I've never would ever have met if it wasn't for what I went through. And I'm grateful for that, because, we made new friends. Even people that I met on Bristol Street now skateboarding came to visit me.
Wow.
They're right beside the bed. I was like, hey man, what's up?
that's a trip. That
Yeah.
and I don't know that because I've never been sick like that. Like I've never been sick like that, But
Right.
knock on wood, right?
Exactly.
But I think it could be beautiful. And so if you look at it in a positive way, at the end, obviously while you're going through it, it's not, But
Well, we need to, because I definitely believe that moment when I got my diagnosis, that's the moment where I should either start crying or start becoming very emotional, but I chose not to be,
okay.
because I said I already feel that my body is very weak at this moment. I said crying and feeling fear or some type of fear for myself, for my own life, would be too much.
Yeah.
It would probably drain the energy that I have left over. So I told my daughter, I said, we're going to just smile through this and laugh and do the best we can.
How old was your daughter at that point?
My daughter right now, she's 30.
30? Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah, she was born when I was 17.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So
I was going through your Instagram.
My life
to get
changed really
questions.
quick as a kid.
Wow.
So that's
17
why
is young.
when we're doing our skateboarding with our friends, our paths just spread out differently. Because, I said, well, I want to skate with you guys, but I have to go take care of my daughter and go work. So that's what my main focus was.
That's what pretty much changes the course of life, pretty much, right?
It does.
Marriage
It
and
changes you.
or having the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, it's either we take responsibility or not, and just be hated the rest of our lives by the children that we created.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, no, I said, I don't want to live that life.
Well, that's good that you're one of
our
the few
relationship
that really.
Yeah, well, my relationship with my daughter is really tight.
That's good, man.
And she stands by me all the time. And I told her, I said, ever you see me doing something wrong, just let me know. Don't be afraid to tell me that I'm wrong.
That's good.
Because it's a parent needs to always be a parent, but also a parent always needs to be open to learn new things.
Yeah.
So you can learn how to have a great relationship with your children.
Yeah, that's true. Are you? I was looking through your Instagram. Are you a grandpa también?
Yes, I'm also grandpa.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
One time, how many kids?
No, just
one grandchildren.
Yeah. Yes, one daughter, one granddaughter.
One granddaughter. Congratulations, man.
She's gonna be 4 years old soon.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited for them.
They say you love them more than you love your kids. Is that true?
Well,
I mean, you know, a lot of people say that.
I love them both.
Yeah.
I love them both. They're just amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
You
Well,
know,
congratulations, you know.
Thank you.
I'm
real proud.
Yeah, you made it. You got to still see your generation, you know.
Right, yeah. Because, when I was going through that chemo and just sitting there, it's like, you know, when everybody shows up, it's awesome because everybody's there and they're grouped up. But when everybody leaves, you're by yourself.
Yeah.
And when you're by yourself, you got to, like, tapped in to that inner love you have for yourself in order to keep moving forward.
That's true, huh?
And I was like, you know, I got so many things to do, and I got my daughter to take care of. Even though she's older,
Yeah.
you know, I got to be there for her. So, you know, I couldn't let this illness take over me.
And you did it.
Yeah, I did it.
And that's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good. So, so in the meantime, you weren't able to skateboard
No, I just
at all. You
just living in here.
How long did that take? The process of you.
Well, me recovering is actually a miracle to all the doctors.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because they said we haven't seen anybody recover this quickly, quickly as you do.
Wow.
Yeah, because within the year, you know, I was already getting better, getting stronger.
Wow.
And then I got a cruiser skateboard from one of my friends. And since I was living with my sister at that time in Irvine, I said, I need to get a quiet skateboard because my skateboard makes too much noise. The street board.
Yeah.
And the cruiser board is just so smooth. I was just cruising around the blocks like a ninja.
Like rubber wheels, huh? Pretty much.
Yeah, big wheels. And it started to like do something, you know, even though my lungs were still real sensitive because of the cancer that was in there. It still, you know, helped me with my endurance, you know, my breathing especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had to go through a lot of breathing exercises.
Well, that's a good way to breathe, you know?
Yes. Yeah, inhaling, exhaling.
Yeah.
And it felt good. You know, even though I had to tell my sister I was going for a walk. Yeah, I didn't tell them. No, they didn't want me to skateboard anymore. Wow. Yeah, my family didn't say, no, maybe you shouldn't skateboard anymore. I said, but I need it.
Yeah.
I said, I'm thinking about it. I said, I need it. I can't. That's why I'm 49 now.
Wow. And
on December 12th, I'll be 50.
Okay.
You know, I started skateboarding and I was 8 years old.
Oh, man. So it's forever.
Yeah, I started skateboarding when I was 8 years old. And, you know, I grew up around Richland and Rate.
Okay. Okay, so yeah. Let's throw it back a little bit. So you were born aquí in Santana?
Yes.
You were born in Santana. That way, you know, and we'll jump around. Pero pues you text me. Pretty much you have your own corrido.
Right.
You text me a video that a friend of yours wrote.
Yeah.
Kind of rock and roll style, and he called you, or ¿cómo le puso la canción?
Bristol Surfer Man.
The Bristol Surfer Man. So we got, you know, like I said, and then he did mention if you don't know, if you never see him, you're not from Santana. I'm like, probably, you know, cause I'm like, man, I used to see you around all the time. The Bristol Surfer Man en la casa. So you grew up on is that where you met Fred and Richie?
Yes.
I mean, Frankie?
Yes. Yeah. We all lived within the same block from Richland and by McFadden, Bristol and Rate.
Okay.
We're all surrounded in that same little location.
And I bet you, and I bet in those times, that area, especially, well, all of Santana, but that area was pretty gang infested, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was. And every so often, and you always get hit up asking, you know, what gang you're from. I said, no, I don't claim. Yeah. I'm just a skater. And it took them a while to figure that out, you know. And every so often, I get a car pulls up right in front of me, like, you know, blocking my way.
Oh, for real?
And this is, you know, years after, though, too. And they go, hey, what are you about? And it's like, I'm worried about the back passengers. Do you have a gun or not? Yeah. I don't know. And then eventually the guy in the back breaks the ice and saying, hey, I used to skate. And then everything's cool. Goes, hey, what are you about? I said, well, man, I've been living in Santa Ana for many years. Yeah. You know, I'm a father. I have a daughter. You know, and I skateboard up and down Bristol Street. That's what I do.
And was it always Bristol nomás, or did you take different routes?
All over the city.
Sí, ¿verdad?
But then there was a time where our circle of skaters fell apart.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, different lives had to go do different things. And then from there, I just started to just raise my daughter and do nothing but just work 9 to 5. And then from there, I created a routine where I just hung out on the weekends by myself. But I didn't do very much of skateboarding or art. because, I'm tired, from working so much. And then I received a phone call saying that one of our friends is no longer here. And I'm like, I was confused. I said, what's going on? And he told me the news that we lost one of our friends for suicide.
Oh, wow.
He jumped in front of a train.
Oh, damn.
His name was Mikey. And he was an awesome skater, awesome friend. And after that day, the next day I went to the wake. And I had to be all cleaned up, combed and everything. And I was nervous before leaving. So I had like a skateboard wheel I had on my table. And, back then, a skateboard wheel with bearings was a new fidget toy back then, because you just spin it. Yeah. And, it just feels cool the way it spins in your between your fingers.
See.
And I put it in my pocket to feel more comfortable. As I got there, all the friends from high school were there, the punkers, the goths, and I'm walking up to the box. It's a little box because Mikey wasn't a really tall guy. He had really long hair up to his hip.
Oh, wow.
And then from there, I walked up to him, and I looked in the box. I noticed that they cut their hair.
Oh, wow.
And they had to reconstruct his left side. Yeah, he got
by
mutilated by the train.
Wow.
And from there, I touched his hand. And all of a sudden, that idea came to me. I said, I'm going to take that wheel that I had in my pocket. I'm going to put it in his hand. And I left it. I left the skateboard wheel in his hand. I'm hoping that's because that's what he represents to me. Fellow skater.
Yeah.
Because I met Mikey when he was 10.
Wow.
He lived to be 21.
So he passed away at 21?
Yeah, 21.
So, like 12 years, something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter was about 4 years old when that happened.
Oh, wow.
And I told myself right in the spot when I was putting that thing there, promising to myself, I said, I'm going to start skateboarding once a week. And then from there, I started skateboarding twice a week. And that's when I started doing that skateboarding down Bristol Street by myself.
Wow.
Back and forth, all the way. I've taken Bristol Street all the way to Balboa Pier.
Oh, wow.
And back.
Nice.
And
surfing,
just rolling over there and skating, and doing that. I created that promise to myself, and that's why the hair started to grow. The hair is the pretty much the memory of the promise that I created.
Oh, okay.
To do it, to continue doing, to evolve.
You haven't cut your hair since then?
Besides when I lost it during the chemo.
Oh, okay.
This is new hair.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I got my hair grew back out.
And I did have that question,
yes.
Everything. How did that make? I mean, obviously nobody likes losing their hair, right? But you had long hair.
I just I adjusted to it.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to giving like a diagnosis of an illness, either you're going to be resistant, or might as well just accept it.
Yeah.
And accepting takes away the stress from trying to fight it, of it happening. So as soon as I did that, I went into it with ease, without saying, something, why me? I said, I'm glad that it was me, then my daughter, or anybody in my family, or my friends.
That's good. I mean, that's a strong way to think, man.
Because I believe that where it overtakes you physically, all you have is the psychological part to maintain your sanity.
Wow.
And your well-being. You're sitting in the hospital being injected with the chemo.
Not a lot of us can go through that, and accept it.
Well, yeah, I know it's challenging. It is challenging for a lot of people. But if I can help people, go beyond the fear of it, that's what I'm here for. That's good.
And I hope do you meet a lot of people going through cancer?
Yes, I do.
Because you say you do speak, you talk to students. What do you do besides?
I do art workshops, clay workshops, and sometimes there was a time where I was going to different schools in the city of Santa Ana.
Oh, okay.
All the way from Seagerstorm High School, Santa Ana High School, other elementary schools. I would do workshops, or I would do art demonstrations, or I would lay out my artwork and create it into a little art gallery for them for the day. And the most awesome part was, though,
is that your, excuse me, is that your, like, también is that your 9 to 5? Like your
Oh no,
the
what I
art?
do, my 9 to 5 is just creating all day. I've just like from the morning to night, I'm just making stuff, and I create my merchandise, and then from there I go to events and I sell them.
Oh wow.
That's how I do my
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
And from there, as much as what I create, time that I dedicate to, is what I get back.
Oh, okay.
You know, it all depends on what I create.
So you get paid doing what you like. That's good.
Yes.
It's not a regular 9 to 5.
Yes.
It's your business, your
Well,
art.
at the same time, I see it as like something that I needed years ago.
Oh, okay.
You know, because that's why the cancer thing happened. Because before that, my life was really stressful. I was living in a real stressful environment.
Wow.
Even though I was trying to stay healthy and exercising every day. There was just people in the surroundings that just made it more difficult and made just the surroundings more toxic.
Yeah.
And that's when I started feeling sick.
In what way? Like through family or
No,
friends?
just
Just
people
friends?
that
People
I
you
knew.
were living
Yeah,
with?
people that you just being roommates with.
Oh, okay.
And you wake up, people screaming.
Wow.
I already grew up around that as a kid.
Yeah.
Because our household was it wasn't as nice as most people might have it. It was the parents were verbally and physically abusive.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you brought that up a little bit when I was talking to you.
Yeah, and I had to find ways to filter that out.
Wow.
I did it with art, through art and skateboarding.
Wow.
And from there it just gave me a sense of freedom, independence.
A way to escape, huh?
Exactly. And it felt good because we all need that.
Exactly. Yeah. As long as you find a healthy way, you know.
Exactly.
And a lot of people do go. I don't know if you ever turned that route, but a lot of people go to drugs. A lot of people go to the gangs.
Yeah, that's true.
And you said you never made it to the gangs.
No.
All that did you ever use?
All that stuff was around me all the time. I actually, got to meet a lot of the people from the gangs. And then from there, as soon as they started recognizing what I was doing, they left me alone.
Yeah.
They actually respect me now.
Did you ever get into drugs, like heavy drugs?
No.
Because of, like I said, some people do turn to that,
No, my main, the way I medicated myself was through art, exercise, and, skateboarding, and martial arts.
Oh, martial arts
Martial
too?
arts really gave me that discipline that most people lack today.
Oh, okay.
It's just the discipline of just being still and not responding emotionally.
What kind of martial arts?
When I first started practicing, my interest was Kung Fu.
Mm-hmm.
So I started training, out of books, out of movies.
On your own?
Yes. And then I started to come up to this thing. I said, well, I really like this style. So I ran into Muay Thai.
Oh, like kickboxing?
Yes,
Muay Thai.
like Thai style.
Yeah.
And I started practicing and training. By age 10, I already had a six-pack.
What, by age 10?
Yes.
Damn.
And,
so you started on your own very young.
Yes, because of the environment that I was living in.
Yeah.
Because, father was so abusive. I felt, well, if I become strong enough, when he hits me, it won't hurt him. It won't hurt me anymore.
Oh, wow. So it was like
it was mostly for
bad.
my own defense. It wasn't for me to actually learn to hurt people.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, I believe if I get stronger, then when people try to hurt me, they'll probably end up hurting themselves as they're trying to hurt me.
So if who would take you if that was your environment? Would your parents take you to Muay Thai?
No, my mother did. I was about 16 years old.
Oh, okay.
But when I was 14 years old, I broke my first banana tree down with my kicking it with my shins.
On your own?
Yes, my own training.
Wow. My
own training. Yes, and then by the time I got into the Muay Thai school, I got trained, did a lot of sparring. But that's what it came down with. I really enjoyed the sparring, the training. The teacher would push you so hard, where part of you make you feel like, oh yeah, it's like I had enough, But then you keep pushing forward because this is what you want, this is what you need.
Yeah.
And you keep pushing, keep kicking. And the teacher would say,
even if your hand already feels like it wants to go like that, huh?
Yeah. The teacher would have you like do roundhouse kicks, nonstop until he says stop.
That's still like a good mental way to escape,
Yes.
It really is, because you burn out.
So
the energy.
when people come to me in a hostile way, I manage my emotions better than anybody else. You know, they want to fight. I feel like laughing, but then I stay neutral because I don't want to because anything can stimulate that individual that has the negative mind already. You have a negative mind, you're going to be easily triggered. Does that make sense?
Yes. No. Yeah. Because I could see that in myself and in a lot of people because we're not trained, mentally. We just go based on what we know and what we learn.
Well, there's different types of strength, and some people feel that if they're physically strength, they can surpass anything. Yeah. And then there's a psychological strength, and then there's emotional strength.
Yeah.
And there's different levels to it. It's like, which one are we? Are we at the most sensitive one where our buttons are always available to be pushed? I have no buttons to be pushed.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Well, I said, someone come up to me and throw out some curse words, it'd probably make me smile.
Well, okay. Yeah, we all have, this is just a question. We all have, let's just say, but what would you do in the case if somebody starts yelling at your girl? Like, how would you react to that? Like, with your girlfriend or your daughter? Right. Even though they're not going to probably do anything. But how have you ever been in a position like that where it's like, okay, now it's me is one thing, but...
Yes. Well,
like
the thing
is...
my
daughter or my girl...
The person that's trying to pretty much get to you psychologically, they'll do that. They'll try that.
Yes.
At the same time comes, it's either, any fool can close their fist. But at the same time, a wiser person would, rethink things and say, something, I'm being set up. This is what they want me to do. They want me to react negatively. Yeah. And sometimes it's best just to walk away.
Okay. That is the best way.
Walk away at the same time, but, the dynamics change if they attack me.
Okay, that's still different.
Or they attack my family. See, because I've trained just to defend.
Yeah.
Not to hurt.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess it's true what you're saying. I mean, words still really are just words, right?
Yes.
So they actually
yes. Yeah, I told the same thing.
Grab you or grab them, then
exactly.
That's a different... Things can change then, right?
Right.
Yeah, but it's still hard, it's still hard. Maybe I've been in that, like maybe me, I can be like, I walk away, but if they start talking to somebody, hey, you better shut up now, then I start leave them alone,
Right.
Then I start getting a little...
Well, we can always say something, but doesn't mean it's going to change their mentality or the way that they exist in this world. A lot of times people are willing to go to any extent to break you down. This is what I've learned from adults as a kid.
Yeah. Wow.
At age 10, I'm right here looking, it's like, wow, there's no sign of intelligence here.
Yeah,
I'm looking at my...
That's all it really is.
It is because, you see all these adults trying to act a certain way, and none of them have any self-respect for themselves. How are they going to respect children?
Sí, ¿verdad?
Yeah, So those individuals grow up to be adults, and then those individuals, have kids that raise them with those same type of mannerisms.
Yeah.
And
just passes down the chain.
Exactly.
Passes down the chain.
Yeah, you got to break the cycle of the psycho.
Yeah, no, that's true
because
the kids, it just keeps messing everybody else up, keeps passing down, and they pass it to their kids and to their kids, and those kids, it sucks. But it's kind of the world también pues we live in,
Yes.
It's weird, but it's a weird world también.
It is.
It's a weird world, but you gotta have the yin and the yang, I guess, right?
Yes. Yeah. You can balance is ultimate, because without the balance, we're going to struggle.
Yeah.
That's when people start saying, "Yeah, life is hard," but life doesn't have to be hard.
But it makes it beautiful at the same time, right?
Yes. Well, because we learn the the simplicity of how life needs to be. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah.
We don't have to but as soon as we organize our emotions, we start to see a larger spectrum of life that we haven't seen before.
True. You don't train no more or on your own?
No, my training's still in the process.
Oh, so you're still doing
yes, not in a gym yet, but that's going to be done soon.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I met somebody that has a gym close by. I met him at the art walk last time.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it goes. Oh, I got to meet the guy, one of the main guys from the gym.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, they goes, yeah, I want to start
What
training.
gym
again.
is it?
I'm not sure because I haven't really heard of it. I can always give you the information about it later.
Cause I mean I know a few gyms.
There's one in, I think it's in Santa Ana.
Oh, okay. Cause I know there's a good one in.
Might be a new one too.
Oh, a new one. Rounders does. I used to go to Rounders for boxing.
Yes.
Shout out to Rounders, and so I know that one they do everything. They have a section for boxing,
right?
And they have a section for MMA, like mix all different martial arts. You know, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, kickboxing.
Yes.
And just mixed martial arts in general. But I don't know.
It's a lot of fun, you know, because it's a great stress reliever.
Yeah, it is.
You know, you come home, you're tired, you're hungry, shower, and then you're out, you're sleeping.
Yeah. No, and it's good. Yeah, it's a good way to finish off or start the day. You know, finish or start off the day.
Yes.
So right now, what are you doing in regards to the Muay Thai then? Just studying on your own, shadow boxing on your own?
Just strength training.
Strength training?
Strength training, yes. Redoing the pull-ups because after the chemo, all muscle memory was gone.
Oh, wow.
So I have to retrain my body. My body feels like it's like a 14-year-old body.
Oh, wow.
Still trying to gain muscle, you know, because this is before the cancer. On a good day, just with 2 fingers on each hand, I could do at least 25 pull-ups.
Oh, man.
Easy. On a really good day, 1 finger on each hand, 15 pull-ups.
Wow.
And I was strengthening my fingers, my neck, my head, because, you know, in Muay Thai, everything's a weapon of your body. And there's times where I just do handstands on the concrete with my head.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and just strengthen them. You know, my head's probably strong enough so I could break a walnut on it.
Oh, damn.
Just crush it.
Damn. Now that I think of it, now that I see your image, I mean, like, you look like a Kung Fu master. Now, I know you don't do Kung Fu, but...
No, Kung Fu is awesome, too. I love it. Yeah, and we just also been doing just, like I said, a lot of push-ups, sit-ups, and I have a sandbag that I made. So we just punch the sandbag each time with the knuckles. And from there, that starts to strengthen and prep the wrist, the knuckles, and makes everything really strong in the hand. So, you know, like I said, in order for me to close my hand and actually hit something with it, I would have to be really sure why I'm doing it. Because that means it makes my hand stronger than most average person. Yeah. Especially when you hit sandbags. Wow. You know, this is without gloves and without wraps. Just by itself.
But do you guys still, like, use... Are you...
We use wraps. You use wraps when you're in the sparring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but when you're training, this is because you're not always gonna have wraps and gloves when something's gonna happen out in the street. In
a real life situation.
So, you know, the less that I have to hit probably be best because I just have to hit once and hard.
I always like Muay Thai. I never watched it, but I got when I was younger. I kind of wanted to get into it, but I just headed to the boxing route. You know,
well, the thing with Muay Thai. It really trains the mind and the body, and the most wonderful thing about it makes your body very, very strong. It turns you almost like into like a tree. Wow. And trunks. So when you're blocking, you know, you're supposed to create like a cage, so it can protect you from being hit in the face with the roundhouse kick, and it blocks it.
And the most powerful weapon, I mean, part of Muay Thai is the legs, or no? That's a question.
Well, everything depends on how you train. Depends on your training. It really depends on your training and what level of training you're getting to. Wow. Because some people go to an extreme training to be stronger than the average trainer. Wow. And usually that's the goal.
Have you ever gone to like Thailand?
No, that would be nice though.
Because over there it's more like is like Muay Thai like a religion kind of like not religion but
well they do like the spiritually a more traditional method where they actually make you like pray to each corner. Oh, okay. But the teacher here he didn't bother teaching us that. He just started putting us through training. Oh, okay. Because he was kind of like a guy who says, oh, when you're ready you go to tournament. And I wasn't so like excited about tournaments.
Never did that? You never fought?
I did twice.
Oh, okay.
Did twice, but it felt weird. Oh, okay. Because all my life I always been in and out of abuse. Yeah. So for me to be the abuser, at that moment. I just didn't like the dynamics of it.
Oh, okay.
I said, no, this is not for me. I said, I don't want to win a plastic trophy. I want to be able to utilize my skills when it's needed the most.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
for a greater purpose.
Yeah. How's your if you don't mind me asking, if you still even have your parents, how is that relationship now?
Well, my mother is doing a lot better.
Yeah.
But my father's still at the stage where, you know, any little thing I say offends him.
Oh, wow.
Because, like I said, he's emotional.
Yeah.
And when you're emotional, you're always going to be upset.
Yeah.
And if you can't seem to, like, you know, go past that emotional realm, you're never going to change.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can't really miss something you never really had. Because even when I was 10 years old, he says, I can't wait until you're 18. And I was a kid. I asked him, how come? I said, so I won't have to help you with shit.
Wow.
I said,
That's hard, huh?
Right there. Well, at first, you know, even at that age, it wasn't even sad. I already accepted it.
Wow.
See? And when you accept things in life, it doesn't hit you as hard. Because then from there, it doesn't go through it goes through the process of through the emotions, but it doesn't go through the part where it affects your emotions, because you already have accepted that this person is not a nice person. And as long as you do that, you know, everything comes with ease. It doesn't have to be difficult anymore.
Yeah, it's still hard, you know, because it's your dad, you know, it's your mom.
Well, we never really spent time together as a family.
Oh, wow. You have siblings?
Yes, and they did it like that too on purpose. They separated us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really, really strange growing up at home.
Wow.
It was almost like at first they see us together, you know, they're hugging and stuff, but as soon as those doors close and the windows close, it's like a horror movie.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, you get sent to the room all day. And one of my favorite father's things to do was to sit you on the corner of the bed, and he'd say, sit up straight, one hand overlapping the other one, and don't move from this position until I release you. And you get left there all day.
Wow.
All day. So that actually, I actually utilized that process, that time that I spent there, as part of my own training.
Oh, wow.
I manipulated it to work for me.
Wow.
It actually helps me, because I had to learn how to do astral projection.
What is that?
Astral projection is when you're somewhere and the place that you're at is uncomfortable, so you start projecting a more beautiful place to be at.
Oh, okay.
In your mind. And after being there all day, you know, you're sitting there in the dark. You're not allowed to open the windows or to turn the light switch on.
Wow.
Yeah, they leave you. And this is before the beating.
Wow.
Yeah, they have you linger for a while before they come and beat you.
Man. Well, I'm sorry to hear that,
but the thing is, you know, my life is, you know, not about sadness. It's about growing, accepting things, and strength.
How you embrace it, huh?
Yeah, and we need to. It's not like you can say, oh, you know, I deserved it, because I didn't deserve any of that.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're a bad kid. You know, and bad kids, you know, they deserve wisdom, not a beating.
Yeah, yeah. What would you say to a kid that, or somebody that, you know, because there's people that don't, like, for example, like, let's just say the son, maybe he's your age, but he never, because I know maybe 2 or 3 friends that, I mean, they're cool now, but they went through that, and they're like, I can't forgive my dad. I don't talk to my dad, or for whatever type of issues they went through, but
no.
And they don't overcome, or even themselves jump. They said they don't have kids, but it's like they don't forgive, or jump and embrace like you know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you this. I've always been asked this question. I said, well, do you see me mad? You know, do you see me upset? I said, if I was a person that hated his parents, you know, I wouldn't be able to do what I do, because I'd be just like them. And I tell them, I said, the most important part is to, one, accept that they chose to behave this way. And what I would tell somebody is, well, something you can spend your rest of your life hating your parents, disliking them, but it's gonna end up draining the individual that's doing it. I told myself as a kid, I said, I don't want to be like them. I said, I want to be a person that loves people, that respects people. And even as a teenager, even when all that abuse stopped, I still try to be friends with them. I still try to go over, have a beer with them and have a sandwich. But then he's unstable. And because of that, he messes it all up for himself. Yeah. And the last time he actually came to visit me was at the hospital when I was going through the cancer. And this was like the most amazing visit of all, because it actually made everything better. And in a way it was, he came in, my sister says, oh, he wants to visit. I said, let him come. And as he came over, he didn't say one word to me. I asked him 3 questions. How was your ride? It's a beautiful day outside. And I said, look, someone brought me some chocolates. Would you like some? And didn't say anything. He's just standing in the corner with his hands in his pocket. My sister comes in and goes, what's going on? I said, I don't know. I didn't say anything. I wasn't disrespectful to the guy. And she goes up to him and goes, well, remember that letter you wrote him 25 years ago? Yeah, and I wrote him a letter 25 years ago saying, hey, you can be a better person. You got to stop being that person where you think you're always right, and because you're not right. I said, whenever you're ready to be my father or my friend, I said, the door's open for you. I said, all you have to do is walk through it on your own. And that letter disrespected him. Oh, wow. And my sister says, well, he wants you to apologize. So he came over to get an apology from me instead of sitting next to me and saying, son, you're going to make it through this cancer. So I smiled at my sister and I told her, I said, I'd rather die with this cancer than give this father of mine something he doesn't deserve. I said, tell him thank you for coming and tell him to go. But it was awesome because he floated to the surface the kind of person he really wanted to be at that time. Yeah. So that's what made it, the whole experience awesome, because my sister finally got to see him perform. Yeah.
So your brothers and sisters did not go through what you went through?
No,
with them?
they didn't go through that.
Oh, wow.
No, they didn't get tortured like that.
Oh, wow.
And I'm glad that they didn't. But because of that, they don't believe what I tell them. Yeah. They don't believe. They don't think their dad would do that.
Well, that's hard,
Yeah, and at the same time, for a while it was frustrating because I couldn't help them understand that these things were happening when I was a kid. And so when I would meet up with my friend Fred or Frank and skateboard with them, we never talked about it. I said, I told them the other day, when he was giving me a ride back from the funeral, I said, "Ma'am, I never know you were going through abuse at home." I said, well, that's not something you want to dwell about when we're just trying to have fun as kids.
So is that something you would, como te digo, you wouldn't talk about much? Is it something you started talking about recently?
No. Well, the thing is, if I talk about it, it's because I like educating people. Yeah. With their, so they can learn how to have emotion, learn how to deal with their emotions and have mental strength to deal with these experiences that they go through. And sometimes I share these experiences mostly for knowledge, not because it hurts my feelings or I relive the moment all over again. I stopped feeling sad years ago.
That's good, man.
Yeah,
that's good. And it is, as men, we do tend to hold a lot of stuff in. Obviously, as men, we don't need to talk about everything, but I've noticed too, I'm like, you know what, if I feel a certain way, I'm going to talk about it, because it does, at least hopefully there's someone,
talking
you
is
don't just
important.
have to randomly, okay, hey, blah, 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 like, obviously in the right occasion, but it does help out. Just, what, this happened, this is what happened, this person or that person, or I did, or I messed up, or that, because then it does make you, I don't know, that's up to me,
Right.
Instead of holding everything in, sometimes it's good to and I realized that this year, it's like,
yes. Well, communication is important, because it can keep you to the point of getting through a lifestyle of addiction,
Yeah.
You know, even suicide.
Yeah.
You know,
Which is
it
all
happens.
bad,
It happens a lot.
they're all bad.
Because believe it or not, you know, I even told my friend Frank the other day. I said when I was 13 years old, because of going through that sadness as a kid, I wanted a suicide when I was 13 years old.
Wow.
And because I felt that I was a failure to my mother and father. I was like, I can't make these guys happy. And and after I failed on you know trying to suicide because I took some pills, you know, it just made my stomach hurt.
Well, that's a good thing, huh? Maybe they were expired or something.
Yeah. And the very next day, my grandma knocks on my door. You know, I'm a teenager. I'm like all upset. I go, what? She goes, and then so she responds the same way. I said, your grandpa wants to talk to you. I said, about what? I said, you go talk to him. So my grandfather at this time, he's diabetic, and he got both legs amputated.
Oh wow.
One above the knee, one below the knee. And they were just stitched up. They weren't even bandaged up. My grandfather says, I need you to carry me so your grandma can clean me, change me, and change my bed. So I did that for 2 weeks.
Wow.
2 weeks every day. And
That's hard. And you were how old? 13?
14 years
14?
old. 14 years old, yeah. And I did that until I was probably like I don't know, maybe like the third week. He goes back to the hospital, and my mother calls me from there and says, you know, our grandfather passed away.
Wow.
So you know, but at the same time though, I didn't feel sad at that moment because I accepted that he was already sick.
Yeah.
But you know, I do miss him because he was like the only person that actually cared about me when I was a kid. He showed me stuff. He showed me how to draw.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's the one that showed me how to draw.
So you're good with the pen,
Pencil,
and paper, painting.
Yeah, painting.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
You don't have no art in the. We'll go. Sorry,
Yeah.
but you don't have art in your Instagram, huh?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah,
okay.
it's just
'Cause I
scattered.
went through
It's just scattered. You know,
Okay,
a lot of times
yeah.
I take videos of my skateboarding or the
Okay.
animals or things that I make to eat.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
I'm to making healthy stuff to eat as well.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. Go ahead with your grandpa.
Yeah. So when I went through that experience with my grandfather dying, I started thinking, I said, well, all this time I'm feeling sad for myself. And see, that's what causes the tendency to want to suicide, when you're feeling sadness for yourself. But when I stopped feeling sadness for myself, I said, want something? It's not what people could do for me, but what I can do for others is what's most important in this world.
Yeah.
And after that, I just started to gain more mental strength. I said, well, something I gotta help. But then eventually I started to work at the Boys and Girls Club of Santa Ana.
Mm-hmm, okay.
Yeah, I worked there as a teenager, and I got to teach kids art.
Wow.
And believe it or not, the other time I had an art show in Anaheim about a month ago, and some guy comes up to me and goes, hey, you used to work at the Boys and Girls Club.
Well, he remembered you?
Yeah, and I was 10 years old, used to teach me art.
Wow.
And it just brings a smile to my face. I was like, man, I said, they still recognize me.
That must be a good feeling though. Like I said, like even
is.
I'm not old, but like I'm 35, bro. So to me, I was telling certain people right there, I'm like, hey, that's at the funeral service. I was like, is that the guy that skateboards? You know, even I got a little excited, bro, because I'm like, I've seen that guy like for a lot of years. You know, it must be nice too to get that positive like
positive feedback is always welcome, you know, because then from there it lets me know, it reconfirms it that I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
See, if it wasn't, you know, positive, you know, I'd be thinking it's like, oh, these guys are just haters. Yeah. But the thing is and for a while I didn't even know anybody was looking when I was skateboarding. Believe it, I was just like in my own mind, listening to some tunes, just riding up and down the street because I just love to do it. Yeah. And eventually that thing came up. I had a friend from high school I say, hey, man, did you check your Facebook? I said, what's going on? I said, you're on it. I said, what is it? I said, it's on Santa Ana Problems. I said, they got a picture of you crossing Seagerstorm Street and Bristol. And I had a picture of me just skateboarding, like crossing the street. And then from there, it was like filled with comments and just like likes.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. I was like, these people are looking.
Oh yeah, because everybody sees you. I don't know, like surfing, bro. I would, because I used to skate too, but not.
Right.
So I'm a type of guy that pays attention, like observes everything. I'm driving, I just look. But it's cool, you know, because it's something we got going on in the city.
Right.
You're from Santana, like a character in the city that everybody sees, you know, like part of the movie.
Yeah.
Even if you're in the back scene, you know, because
Right.
obviously that's what it kind of is, you know, like
Right.
they're filming and then like we're just driving, and then you're over there in the background skateboarding, like in the movies, you know, like that's cool, bro. Like,
Yeah.
like
That's
it's and when did you start? Like, okay, you said you went with when your friend passed away.
Yes.
That you started doing that. How
Yeah.
was the time gap before you took a break because of your cancer? Because you did it for how many years prior to that?
Well, after the cancer, I probably stopped about a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
About a year and a half, and that's why they're surprised that I've been healing so quickly. And it's like every time I go over there, it's like, well, your growth marker went from 2,000 to 0. You know, and it's like that means it's large, so it's all spread it right here. And he showed me my CT scans for my lungs. I said, your lungs are supposed to look completely black, but when you look at them, it looks like when you look at underwater like sceneries and you see a bunch of jellyfish, like scattered all over the place. That's how my lungs look like.
And that's good?
No, that was a bad thing.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
because he
all
said
black is good.
it's good because there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they look like there was a bunch of like. It
Like
reminds me.
aquarium.
That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the ocean with jellyfish in it. That's how my lungs
Wow.
look like in the CT scan.
Wow.
And then until they were just showing 0.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. And it's good. Like all this is good because I hope, you know, people can gain something positive because cancer is a common thing, you know, thing, and it hits everybody
that and
different.
diabetes.
Yeah, that and diabetes.
Then mental health.
Yeah.
You know, it all comes in sometimes all in one package.
Yes.
You know, and I believe if I can help anybody with any of these aspects, you know, eating healthier, learning how to maintain, you know, emotional outburst, you know, that's what I do.
The other day I saw a video that you had something in your hand rotating.
Oh, yes.
What is that?
That's an exercise-resistant tool.
You made that tool?
No, actually, I've been using those tools since I was 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
And what it is, it's actually a ball, and it has like a bearing inside that makes it spin the opposite way of way it rolls. So, and on one side it has a weight, so when you're moving it, it flips itself over and starts building momentum.
Oh, okay.
And as the faster you move it, the more weight it becomes on the wrist, so it actually creates more pounds.
Oh, okay.
So as you're doing that, it starts to warm up all the forearm muscles, and it starts to strengthen your wrist and your forearm. It's supposed to be like a therapy tool.
All right.
A lot of people laugh at it. It goes, "Oh, you're still playing with that toy?" I said, "That toy helps."
Yeah, I thought it was like something you built and
No.
you sell and you.
Well, I've been using it for many years. Even though I've already went through a whole bunch, I probably went through like at least 9 of them already.
Wow.
Yeah, burn them out inside.
just
Use them each day. You set, as soon as you get this one all heated up, you switch it to the other hand, do it again. But on my very first one, I was 16 years old. I bought it at a martial arts store.
Oh, okay.
And I burned it up in 2 days.
Wow.
I just loved it so much. I just used it, skateboarded all the way home with it, because
Kinda
also
like a fidget.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the fidget toy, and it helped a lot, not with just the strength, but the anxiety that we feel inside.
Yeah.
And doing that, it just made me feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I bet.
And still to this day, it still works especially for building up my strength in my arms and wrist and fingers.
Wow.
Especially when I'm working with clay or working with other types of.
So you do
material.
like clay? Well, one of your arts.
Yeah, my clay. My clay is all hand building.
Oh.
Hand building. I also work with woodwork. Woodwork. I work with gourds, coconuts, and bamboo, and found objects. I like just putting artwork together.
Do you ever do stuff in? Well, you do art shows, but do you ever do them right here in downtown Santana?
Yes.
Did you ever do work with like Fred and them while they were doing in their art shows? Did you get to do that?
Yes, I got to visit one of the galleries that they had. I'm usually posted at off of Broadway and 2nd on every first Saturday of the month for the art walk.
By the little alley bridge?
It's where the water fountain is at.
Right there. Okay.
Right there. Okay. Usually right in front of it.
All right, cool. Yes. Next time I haven't gone, but I do go every once.
Yes.
Once in a while, so ahí si te miro, pues.
Yes.
Awesome. Pa saludar, ¿verdad?
Yes.
But it's cool. I mean, I still go down there, but now I just go to have a beer or something like it.
I hear you.
I don't focus on the art scene as much.
Well, I've been doing artwork since I was a teenager, so in that area too, we were doing sometimes art shows in the Centura building or the building across the street from the Centura building before the art walk was even created.
Wow.
So it's, it has a lot of past memory. Of a lot of wonderful, experiences with other artists too. And that's how I met all the artists that I've met today.
Do you know Alicia, the one that does the murals and the honeybees?
Yes.
You know her? She was here too. We did a podcast with her.
Yes.
I know she
they're really sweet. They came to visit me at the hospital.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she's nice.
A lot of my friends did.
Yeah, she's nice. Do you know Cynthia Rebodeo? No, huh? She's more like a journalist,
The name sounds familiar. Does she do events too?
No, she's just like a journalist.
Okay.
But she was here. I thought you knew her because she knows everybody too.
Okay.
She knows that circle, that art circle,
Well, I probably do. I would probably have to put a picture to the face, to the name.
Yeah, but no, it's cool. Like I said, it's cool that I brought you in, bro, because like I said, and then there's a lot of people that do go through abuse,
Yes.
Female kids,
yes.
Even adults, even adults do go through abuse.
They do
by their marriage couple,
Yes, they do.
And it's a lot. It's common too. I mean, we don't see it, but it's common. Like it's out there. It's hidden, but it's out there.
Right.
And even going through diseases or sicknesses, even if you have a happy, beautiful life, eventually something te puede llegar así, like cancer.
That's it.
And a lot of people mentally don't know how to handle it. Everything's beautiful, everything's perfect.
Right.
So something like that comes and
yes, not one tear was dropped for the cancer on my part. I said no. I said this is not gonna defeat me this way, or break me down.
That's good, man.
It makes your body feel not good, because especially when you're going through the chemo, but then it's up to me on how I want to manage my own self. How I want to communicate with people, how do I want to communicate with myself during that time, because there's been times where actually my sensitivity level has gone so sensitive I can feel other people's fear.
Wow.
And sadness, and I was like, wow. I said for a while I thought it was mine, but it's not. I said it's somebody else's sadness. I said I'm okay, I'm watching TV.
Yeah. But that's good. I hope people can pick up from this and know you can overcome and embrace it. You don't always have to go to the streets, to drugs, to alcoholism, or you don't always have to look for problems, because that's what people want to release their problems to other people,
Yes, that's true.
And like you said, you try mejor to walk away, but people do, people get mad at their girl and they want to go out in the streets and fight somebody,
Right.
They carry that, and it's like there's other ways, there's other ways to and for you it was skateboarding, right?
Yes. Skateboarding, martial arts, doing art, creating art, and eventually a little bit after high school I was tested by my teacher on a humility test, and I failed for a while because as a teenager as soon as I got focused on artwork, I just wanted to get my work done. And then one day the teacher says, I want you to do this beginning class with me, Manuel. And I didn't understand it. And I said, well, I got a lot of projects to do. And the teacher says right in front in the beginning class in the advanced art room, because I was already in that advanced art room.
Oh, okay.
And she says, well, something, Manuel. I said, I already taught you everything you need to know about art and drawing. I said, I want you to leave my class. I got kicked out. I got kicked out of art class because of the lack of understanding of what you wanted me to do.
Yeah.
But also that's my autistic side. I didn't understand it.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're autistic?
Yes.
Okay.
And when that happened, I actually felt sad on my way home from school to home.
Yeah.
And I actually missed about a semester of school
because
I said, art class is everything to me. And that's during a time when, you know, we had friends come and visit, you know, and they took a break from their school. Yeah. They come over to visit for a while and hung out, played some Sega Genesis. Yeah. And, you know, it was cool for a while, but then everybody leaves. I said, wow, I'm here again by myself. And it's boring here. Yeah. It's boring here being by yourself. And so we decided to go to school. We showed up to the gates. We looked at the gates and we'll walk back home. I was like, no. I said, I got to do this a different way. Eventually, I worked myself into going to lunchtime. Oh, okay. And then eventually, the classroom that I was set to go to for the day, the teacher eventually says, hey, you get credit just for showing up to school. I said, okay. So I started showing up at lunchtime every day. And I would go to the class and I'd fall asleep. Oh. And then one day, the teacher started saying, I guess she got tired of just seeing me just doing nothing. Yeah. She says, want something, Manuel? I said, I have these 2 poodles. I would like for you to draw them for me. And I'll bring you the materials. You know, I'll even pay you for when they're done. I said, well, bring the stuff. Bring me the pictures. And she got me doing something in class. Wow. I started drawing in class. And she paid me for the stuff. And then eventually they accepted me back in art class. Oh, wow. The teacher did. She forgave me, you know, for the lack of understanding. Yeah. Oh, wow. And so, but the thing is, the most interesting part, though, where this actually becomes the lesson learned is when I went back, I didn't go back to the advanced room anymore, advanced art room. I got to start in the beginning class again. Oh, okay. Even though I already have a lot of training. So when before I even laid out my own work to do, I started observing the class, and I started to notice that all these kids are new at art, and all these kids have a task and a project to work on, and they're having such a difficult time working on it. So I got all my pencils and my erasers, my shaders, and I went to each kid at a time and helped them. Wow, that's good. That was the lesson learned. Yeah. You know, it's like learning how to be selfless, and the humility level of it was to not just to be full of your own self, but learn to release it and help others with it. Yeah, that was the lesson learned.
Live and learn. Yeah, live and learn, and sometimes you don't catch them till later, you know.
Right? No, I'm glad that I did. Yeah. I'm glad that I did, because it helps me as a older you know, person today, as an artist, and as a person in the community that you know, people can reach out to me and say, if you need help, you know, I'll do the best I can.
That's good, man. And if people wanna, let's just say somebody here, Lomira, can they ask you questions through Instagram? Because I don't have Facebook, but I have Instagram, so I'm gonna tag you. You know, like So
you know, I encourage people to reach out to me. You know, especially if they have questions. You know, about what I went through already, and you know, and it doesn't matter how personal it is, because you know, we all go through really rough experiences that sometimes we have no one to talk to about it. Yeah. You know, the other day I went to this one place where I do some skateboarding, do some grinds, and when I showed up there was already a guy there skateboarding. So I kind of like passed through, said what's up, you know, kept on skateboarding, and then I said, I'm gonna go and you know, find out what this guy's name is, and he told me his name, and then I said cool, kept on skateboarding, and then by the time I was gonna go, I said, well, you know, it's nice to meet you. And then I share a little bit of my story, how I went through the cancer. And then he tells me that he is a cancer survivor as well. Wow. At age 25.
Oh, wow. So he went through it at a young age.
Yes. Wow. Same type of cancer.
Oh, shoot.
But he got his earlier. Mine was already a year in advanced.
Oh, wow.
Mine was a stage 3 aggressive.
Wow.
So they had to put me through oxygen and all this other stuff. They had to move me from one hospital to UCI. So it was awesome meeting another person that went through that same type of experience. Yeah. And we just happened to meet that same day. He said, I wasn't even going to skateboard today, man. I said, I'm glad I met you. Yeah. And you know, that's the awesome part of be able to reach that connection at level with people, eye to eye. Yeah. And say, want something? I said, I know what you feel.
That's good, man. That's good. And good thing you asked a question, you know. You didn't go back. If you didn't go back, you would have never known, you know.
Yeah, you would have never known. Yeah.
And that's a good thing. But sometimes you just gotta go for your instincts, you know. Like, let me go see what's up.
Yeah, it's that's the important part, you know. So always, you know, try to make friends.
Yeah.
You know.
it's beautiful too. You know,
It is.
It is beautiful. Not everybody's gonna be your friend, but
no.
But hey,
I
make a
believe
good
it.
conversation and leave it be after that. You know.
Right.
Yeah, but no, I'm glad you came by, Manuel.
Yes. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Any message you want to send another one on your own personally to anybody out there hearing, good, bad, or and more obviously more encouraging. You know, no, you don't have to send a bad one, but something encouraging, bro. Because I'm happy you came. This conversation también me ayuda a mí. You know, sometimes we think we have it bad. Not bad, but it's like you never know what other people are going through, you know, and it's like we're in a safe spot, you know, at the moment. Yes. Speaking today, we're in a safe spot, and just live. I learned to live day by day, you know.
Well, that is a true thing, you know. Day by day is important, but also having attitude of gratitude on the daily basis, because every day is special.
Yes.
And every day that we get to live and exist, and you know, unravel our own lives, you know, especially if we need to, like, you know, reach out to someone else so we can, you know, stop going through that cycle of, you know, drinking so much because you're trying to deal with your problems. You know, I pretty much put myself through therapy without ever being medicated. Wow. You know, and because of because believe it or not, when you go through abuse, it leaves a PTSD.
Yes. And
sometimes out of the blue, you know, I don't feel any sadness or any anger, but all of a sudden I see a shadow. And the shadow that I see is the hand that's always was hit me.
Wow.
And sometimes it's just like it happens, and I just like, you know, kind of move a little bit like, oh, there's nothing there. But that's the only other thing that occurs. You know, it's just like the emotions of the flashbacks of the experiences that you've been through, you know. But for the most part, though, the emotional part, you know, it's very healing. And, you know, if anybody ever needs, you know, some of those questions answered or defined, you know, just reach out to me.
Or some edibles.
That too.
You make them yourself?
Yes.
I know you
I put it through the process, and it has nothing but positivity in it, and you know, just a lot of positive vibes, you know, that goes into the medicine.
Yeah. Because it is a You know what? If you know how to use weed,
yes.
People smoke to smoke, but
yes,
you could use it for medicine, you know.
Yes. The day that I got right from Frank, he said, I'm in a lot of pain, bro. And I said, wait, let's give this guy some of the cookies. And then he ate one before going. He goes, man, this cookie's helping. And I said, and it made me feel like happy inside that, you know, what I make helps somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not an edible, maybe an art piece, or maybe just, you know, them seeing me skateboard again down the street.
Yeah.
You know, that's anything and everything works.
Well, I hope we keep seeing you
for
a long time
skateboarding
down the street, man. So other kids can remember you too, you know? Like,
yes.
Or the next generation, you know? Cause
they'll see it. Yeah. There's times where someone ran into me and says, when I was a little kid, my mom would take me to school. Now I'm taking myself to college, and I still see you skateboarding.
Wow. Yeah,
I said, skateboarding is a fountain of youth.
Yeah.
I tell you.
It's always positive, too. It's always positive.
It is. It's not the easiest one to do, but it is definitely worth doing.
Weird question. Have you fallen recently on the skateboard?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
It's normal,
You got to embrace the falling.
I gave up because it hurts more now. It hurts more now that you're older. I fell. Because I tried going to skate parks.
Yes.
Because that's how I was, you know, doing tricks.
Yes.
And I went, I think I was 25 or 24. I'm like, you know what? It's been like 2-3 years. I just want to get exercise.
No, you got to start slow.
Yeah.
You can't go from not skateboarding to the skate park. You have to start gradually.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. Never rush practice.
Yeah. No, see. Yeah, so now I just focus on running. You know, I've always ran, but now
running is good.
Running and stuff like that. So little by little. But once again, Manuel, thank you. And quick mensaje to the camera, bro.
Yes.
You want to send a positive message out there? Shout outs to anybody?
Well, you know, I love all my friends, family, and never give up. Never give up on things that you love. Always follow your heart.
Good.
That's all I can say.
That's all. That's it. That's the good message right there. Sometimes you don't even have to say.
That's right.
Not long, you know. It's just 2-3 words and
short
that's
and sweet.
Yeah, that's it. No, pues once again, thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Hopefully, maybe in the near future again. My plan is to bring everybody again eventually. You know, kind of like.
Sounds awesome.
And if it happens, pues
nice.
Para invitarte otra vez de nuevo.
Thank you.
Once again, I appreciate it. Stay tuned. The Bristol Surfer right here in La Casa. Hopefully you guys have seen him or recognize him. And if you do, say hi to him. You know, say hi to him. He also does art. Where can they follow you? On Instagram or Facebook?
Yes, Organic Transformations.
Organic Transformations. I will post it up. I'm going to post you up through your Instagram, through your name.
Awesome.
Y también le voy a poner The Bristol Surfer.
Yeah, if you want to share that video, the song too.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
awesome.
I'll post it up.
Yeah.
It's just hard because I don't have Facebook and it wouldn't let me in. It let me play it, but it wouldn't let me in.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how I can share that video. I think it was recorded by somebody else's phone. And then shared with me.
I'll re-record it. Like I'll record it through the camera.
Yeah.
And then I'll upload it.
Yeah. Theo Hirsch did a really good job on that song.
It sounds cool.
Because I told him, I said I wanted to make it sound a little bit like the old school like Spider-Man song.
Oh, that's what it. Okay, I'll pay attention to it.
Yeah, if you pay attention to it, it's like it kind of has that feel to it.
I didn't notice it, but now I'll check it out and try to put 2 and 2 together. But once again, thank you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned and peace.
Awesome.